So, good. My name is Aaron Cheruiyot, Senator of the great county of Kericho and also Majority Leader of the Senate. In the sports department, I'm the captain of Bunge FC Senate and a very active member of this team for the last 8 years. I am pleased to be back this year after our elections. This is our first preparations as we prepare for the annual Yala Games. This year's games will be played in Juba, that is South Sudan. They have been members of East African Community, and this time it is a chance to host. The preparation team, the executive committee that organizes the sports, has informed us that they have good facilities. They have what it takes to host this tournament. Therefore, we are prepared to go and play. As usual, whenever we come back from the election cycle, we are not normally at our best of form. Our best of form always comes the year preceding the election, because by that time, as a team, we have played together for 4 years. For this term, only a few of us made it back. A good number were either not elected or have taken up different assignments, maybe as governors or cabinet secretaries, so they didn't make it back to be part of Bunge FC. And that always gives us challenge, because it takes time to gel as a team. You know each other, the strengths of each person, the weakness, and even to bring your body physical fitness. You understand? From, I think, after Yala Games in December of last year, once we stopped in Arusha, once we played the last game, many people stopped training because you now focus on the election for the whole 8 months. And that has been the challenge. But we have tried, we have pushed hard the last 1.5 months. We have not reached the level, in honesty, even speaking for myself, I have not reached the level where I was last year, December, when we were playing in Arusha, where we gave a very good account of ourselves. For the first time, we finished second, though it was actually disputed. There was a dispute between us and Tanzania Football Club over one game where they were adjudged to have fielded ineligible players. And therefore they ought to have been deducted marks. But given that they were playing in their home country, such things are not very easy. Yala is a very competitive sport. I'm sure you have tournament. I'm sure you've been there. There is a national pride at stake. It's never easy, especially for us Kenyans. Given that we are the almost a superpower of the region, everybody wants to beat Kenya in every sport, from football to volleyball, tug of war. There is certain sense of pride that the other teams get from beating Kenya. And given that we are the big boys of the region, we also try as hard not to be beaten or to lose to any of the teams. But generally, we are prepared well. I believe we will do well as football. We have a good team. Though we lost some very good players through the election, we have also gained very good additions. We have tested a good number of them, though they are good, but they are lacking physical fitness. Some of them have not trained in a long time. But the beauty with football is that if the touch is there, as you train longer, you get to see that fitness coming back. So I can say that we are prepared and we are ready for these games.
As the new captain, taking over the armband from your good friend CS Murkomen, maybe what's your target?
I believe we will do better. You know, under the ESC protocols, ministers are allowed to play. So I hope if the duties of the new office would be too heavy, that some of our colleagues like Murkomen, who have taken up cabinet duties, will find time to train maybe once or twice per week, and during the tournament they can join for 1 or 2 games, because he is eligible to play. It's not a very difficult task. I was a vice captain the last 5 years. Therefore, I know all these members. I know what it takes to manage Bunge FC. And therefore, I look forward to a good 5 years working together and God helping us to achieve a lot as a team.
Maybe apart from football, just take us through which are other sports that Kenya is expected to compete strongly.
We always give a very good account of ourselves in athletics, especially the long distance. It's normally a competition just between Kenya and Uganda most of the time, of course, because of our brothers from the Mount Elgon side of Uganda. So it's a local derby. They are neighbors also, and we enjoy. We compete also very well in volleyball, both male and female volleyball. Our women do very well. Our men also, they give a very good account of themselves. We are the defending champions, I think, for the last 2 or 3 years in tug of war. We do very well in netball as well. Basketball, we are also very good. Actually, if I'm not wrong, we are also defending champions in basketball. So there are a number of sports where we are doing well, and I look forward to a time where we will come back with as many trophies as possible. Our golfers also, they give a very good account of themselves. Members who played golf last year, many of them emerge victorious in the individual categories. So basically, we are competitive in every sport that we enter, or actually that Yala Games allow members to participate in.
When are these Yala Games going to start?
We've been informed that it's from the 20th of November next month up to around 2nd of December. The reason why they are coming early this year is because on the 15th or that week of 14th, new Yala members will be admitted to office. Therefore, wanted to give Yala the time to prepare to receive their new members of parliament. Therefore, the games have been pushed slightly forward.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, I will not let you go without answering this question regards the current situation of the Kenyan football. Maybe where you see it, what can you say, and what
it's a terrible situation. You remember, I spoke a lot about this. We warned the former CS Amina Mohammed in Parliament that football is a global sport. We are not an island where we think that we can manage it on our own. There are statutes and there are laws for which Kenya has signed up to. And if and when there are difficulties, as she alleged in the management of football, then she ought to have followed the laid down statutes of ensuring that she brings good order to the good game of football. Unfortunately, she did not listen to us. It resulted in the ban, where for the last almost 1 year now, our sportsmen have been in the dark. I'm heartbroken because I really love football. I invest a lot in football programs in my county because I know it's just like education. It's a one silver bullet where if you get it right, you can really give a life chance to many young people. Therefore, my advice to the new Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Ababu Namwamba, he's not new in this sector. He's a good fan of football. He understands how global football administration runs. My advice is only one. In February of this year, FIFA wrote to CS Amina Mohammed and laid down the conditions which Kenya has to meet for us to be admitted back first to the global football competitions. Then if there are things that we need to manage locally, we can handle it. My good advice to my friend Ababu, follow what what FIFA demanded of us. I think there were two conditions that they laid down for us that they expected us to follow. Once we adhere to, I believe within a very short time we should be admitted back. There's a lot to handle in that particular department. As we speak today, Harambee Stars does not have a field to play in. This Nyayo Stadium is banned. Kasarani Stadium is banned. You know. And it's just over very little adjustments. Lights that are not working, security gates, water that is not present in the stadium. I believe with a small budgetary allocation from the sports fund, you should be able to do a spruce up of both stadiums and at least manage us back. Because I expect that we as a country, if we put our act together, then we should be able to join the rest of the East African community, that is Tanzania and Uganda, in bidding for AFCON 2027. And I believe it's an achievable target if we get our act together. Therefore, over to you, Honorable Ababu Namwamba. Put things in order, return football back to the fans, and also ensure that we have good stadiums beginning with Nyayo and Kasarani. Thank you.
Last question. You have just talked about 2027 bid of AFCON. So do you think maybe His Honorable President Ruto's administration, that's part of the plan you guys have maybe to bring the...
Yes, we have. And I have spoken, personally I've spoken to the President about this, and I have impressed on him the need to ensure that once the CS comes into office, he receives the necessary budget allocation, first of all, to get our stadiums, that is Nyayo and Kasarani, together with the 6 regional stadiums that we have been putting up together, and other stadiums, say like City Stadium, get them up to international level where we can be able to compete. Then by 2025, when we do the bidding for AFCON 2027, then I believe we can give a good account. This is a time for East Africa to host, so we should not let that opportunity pass. Otherwise, if we don't prepare ourselves well, Tanzania and Uganda will grab this opportunity. Yet everybody knows across Africa that when it's a turn for East Africa, then the anchor host should be Kenya, because we have all the necessary facilities, save for the most important, which is the stadiums.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
really
much. Asanteni sana.